How strong is your mind? Today I want to talk about mental conditioning, which I feel is an often overlooked component of many diet and exercise programs. I want to talk about why I think it's so important, and then I want to share with you a practical solution to how that you can apply to your life, whether that's preparing for a specific event or whether it's just about shifting your mindset and improving your life in general. And there's two main reasons why I think mental conditioning is so important. And I'll just quickly say, for me, mental conditioning, it's basically exercise for your brain. If we think of physical conditioning about strengthening our muscles or getting fitter, faster, stronger, I would say mental conditioning, it's all about improving our mindset and enhancing our character. So, mental conditioning, while I think it's so important from a performance point of view, have you ever witnessed an athlete or perhaps a colleague, someone who's very good at their job, a very high performer, but then as soon as things get difficult, they might get frustrated or flustered, they stop communicating, they withdraw into themselves and they start making more mistakes. So from a sort of a physical performance point of view, what's the point of having this high-performing, healthy, fit, fast, strong body if at the first sign of difficulty, it's sabotaged by the mind and that's what's controlling it? And secondly, and why I think it's so important, is from a longevity point of view, have you ever done a 12-week challenge or gone on a diet, or perhaps known someone who has, and you've achieved some incredible results, but they weren't very long lasting? Afterwards, in a couple of months' time or a couple of years' time, you were back to where you began. And based on my personal experiences with weight loss and my health and fitness journey, I think one of the reasons for that is that a lot of these programs focus primarily on the physical side of it. It's all about the physical conditioning, the physical activity. And at the end of the program, fundamentally underneath it all, you're still the same person you were when you started. And then I feel in a lot of the same cases, given enough time, because fundamentally you haven't changed much of who you are and how you view things, you will get back to where you were when you started. So when I was going through my journey, I made sure that I was not only transforming my body, but that I also needed to transform my mind as well. And here is how I did that. So the first step was I had to be aware of exactly how sort of my mind was working. So when people would ask me, how am I, or are you ready for this? I would, after that conversation, I would jot down the words and the phrases that I used so that I could get a picture for exactly what was going on up here. And then after a week, and I had this nice long list of how I was viewing myself and how I was viewing the world, what information I was giving to others, I sat down and I was like, all right, so this is exactly what is going on in my mind. And then I picked a couple of things that I wasn't happy with. I was like, I do not like these words. I do not want them to be in my mindset going forwards. I don't want them to be a part of me. And then I found alternatives. So for me, I focused on little single words. You might focus on phrases, whatever it is, find what works for you. So I looked at the words I didn't like, and then I found alternatives that I replaced with that started with the same letter. So here's an example of something I put together. I was preparing for a big event, and I noticed when people would ask me, a lot of my discussions was like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready, or I'm worried about this, I'm afraid about that, I regret doing this in my training, I regret not doing that, I should have started this sooner, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, this is not a good mindset. I'm going to change that. And then I came up with the mindset I wanted, and I put together the slogan, and the slogan went, I am ready, I have no regrets, I am willing, not worried, I am chasing dreams, not doubts, and I have faith over fear. And then I took that slogan and I put it everywhere. That was the final step. I had to make sure that this constant repetition, that I was continually reminding myself, I was continually living that. So I set it as my phone wallpaper. I put little post-it notes on my desk so that I was continually reminded on the changes I was making to my mindset. And then before long, when people would ask me, was I ready? I was starting to say, yes, I am ready. They're like, are you worried? I was like, actually, no, I'm not worried. I've prepared, have no regrets, I'm willing. And that was how I shifted my mindset. So thank you very much for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, could you please consider subscribing so you don't miss any of my future videos? Going forwards, I am going to make sure that I finish most of the videos with some practical tips that you can then apply to your own life. And finally, I do have some online coaching spaces available. So if you would like to work with me and get advice and programming that is specifically tailored to you, your circumstances, your goals, and your challenges, please contact me today. I would love to hear from you and start your physical and mental transformation right now.